In this module, we are going to look at the TMAP package. This package is really great for modeling spatial data because you can create interactive maps and static maps using the same code chunks. So let's jump right into it. I am going to import my TMAP library. If you don't have the TMAP library installed, go ahead and run the install packages function for TMAP. I already have it in my environment, so I'm not going to install it, but make sure you do that before continuing the module. So the first thing we want to do is use this function called tmap_mode. This function is really useful for highlighting whether you want the plot view or the view. So if you want an interactive map like the one we made with Leaflet, you use the view option, and I'm going to do that to start off. And then if you want a static map, you can switch view to plot. So let's run that. And you can see here that TMAP has been set to interactive viewing, so that's perfect. We are also going to import the SP data library. And then we are going to import the world dataset. We use this one when working with the Leaflet library. So let's go ahead and start working with the TMAP functions. It's very similar to what we did with Leaflet, but it's like working with ggplot instead of a tibble. And I'll show you what I mean. That might sound kind of confusing, but essentially we just outline the data set and then we add different parameters that we're interested in. We're going to use a function called tmap_shape. And we're going to input the name of our data set. And after we do that, and then we're going to add the tm polygons function so that the TMAP library knows what we want to plot, which is polygons. So let's run that. And there you go. Just like we did with Leaflet, you can see different countries. This is for the entire world. You can see a lot of different information here. We can plot specific columns from the world data set by referencing that column in the tm polygons function. So let's view the data set again. And we can choose what we want to plot. So I'm going to plot the population. And the incredible thing about GMAP is it automatically creates a legend for you. So you can see that the different countries have been colored by their population. So it's very easy to use, and we did that with one line of code and 2 functions. So very, very easy to use. Now, the great thing about TMAP is that you can switch it to a static map by switching view to plot. So let's do that and see what it looks like. And run the function again, the plotting function again. And there you go. It's a static map. You could export it and use it in a report. It's very, very easy to use. Now, the great thing about TMAP is that you can plot multiple maps with different column data in the same frame. So all you have to do is create a character vector in your tm polygons function. So we have population, but we can also plot let's see, let's do area. So all we need to do in that case is create a character vector. So remember, a character vector is a vector of strings, and we can add the second column of data that we want. And after we do that, you can see that we have 2 different maps right in one. And right now we have one column, so think about the maps as though they're cells in a data set. We have one column and two rows, row 1 and row 2. If you want to change that, you can do it very easily by adding a TM facet function, and in this function you can specify what you want the maps to look like side by side. So the first thing you do is you do sync equals true, and then we're going to specify that we want 2 columns of data instead of 1. So I want the maps to be right next to each other rather than on top of each other. Ooh, TM facet, not TC facet. And TM facets. There we go. So they're right next to each other, and we can switch it to view as well to see what that looks like. And there you go. You can, the great thing is you can plot multiple data sets and view the parameters right next to each other, which I think is pretty incredible. So you can see how the population compares to the area, and yeah, it's just a really easy to use spatial data package.